128th anniversary.
128 years anniversary of
the fall of Benin City.
The fall of Benin City. Talk to us about it, sir.
No, well, 128 years ago, at about 3 p.m. on the 18th of February 1897, the British Army took the city. And they are aware the king and all his usual men fled. They took the whole day securing their hold on the city. Today, 19th of February, 128 years ago, the looting actually started. They stripped the walls, broke open the royal tombs, expecting brasses, and they found bones. This is their statement. This is what they wrote. Photographs of people sitting among the ruins of the palace. Somebody like Carter, who built Carter Bridge in Lagos. They sat down and spread in front of them with thousands of brass rings. On the photograph, the British soldiers sat down. You could see the palace was not burnt, because the palace was burnt in 2 days' time, 128 years ago. The roof of the palace was intact. Thousands of objects, ivory tusk, cask of brandy, whiskey, just name it. Things that we've amassed for 700 years. The British stripped them off and stacked them in the courtyard of the palace. And with glee, sat among them, smiling and taking photographs. So, today is a day steeped in infamy. A day the Benin world was turned upside down. And a day we are still yet to recover from. Well, actually, if on a day like this, we should have been marching, carrying placards. But remember, illiterates don't carry placard. If a people are not educated about their past, they cannot assess they cannot understand their present, neither can they make projections for their future. We don't know what we have lost. I'm talking about somebody initially said that what was taken from Benin is about 6,500 objects. But what the British recorded was less than 3,000. What we have found in the last, since 2021, is 5,100 and something objects in the 128 museums. Hermitage in Russia, that's St. Petersburg. We don't know how many objects are there. The Germans looted works from all over Europe during the Second World War. The Russians looted what the Germans looted. So those ones are lost. On a day like this, we should tell the world, give us back our history.
If we want to teach the Biafra story in schools, I tell you, one of the reasons they stopped teaching history was that they couldn't tell our story. And now they can't tell the Biafra story. And we cannot tell the story of the coups properly. Now, a country with so many secrets that it cannot divulge cannot write history. It is wrong to talk about ignoring the Biafra story. All the injustices and the oppression that led to Biafra are still very much present and with us. You can't escape Biafra. And in fact, the reason we do need to continuously exhume the ghost of Biafra is that the ethnic principles on the basis of which we had to go to war are all pervasive in the Nigerian society of today. And our leaders do not appear to know what to do about them. They start from the wrong premises. Some want to eliminate ethnic groups. It is not possible to eliminate ethnic groups. That old statement by Amadou Bello in reply to Zik. Zik said, let's forget our differences. Amadou Bello said, no, let's understand them. When you do understand them, you will discover that it is possible for those who are supposedly radically opposed to themselves today, it is possible for them to sit at the same table and discuss virtually every problem.
Fascinating. Many of the key figures in this book and who shaped the history of our country are here with us today. And that tells another story all by itself. And that is something truly unique about Nigeria. Our ability to move beyond the past, no matter how bitter and no matter how adversarial our past relationships may have been, and to still come together. So seated amongst us here today is General Yakubu Gowon, who became Nigeria's head of state at the age of 32 and led the country for 9 years. His government was overthrown in 1975 by a coup involving the then Brigadier Olusegun Obasanjo and the then Brigadier Theophilus Danjuma, and the author himself, I confirm, the then Lieutenant Colonel Babangida, who was then commander of the newly formed Armored Corps. Also involved in that coup were the then Lieutenant Colonels Muhammadu Buhari, Lieutenant Colonel Sani Bello, who is here also, and Lieutenant Colonel Sani Sami. Yet, here we are today with former President Obasanjo, General Danjuma, and of course the author himself present, not as adversaries of the author, but as witnesses to history, celebrating a fellow statesman. In a striking turn of fate, the author notes that it was President Obasanjo who, after the tragic assassination of General Murtala Mohammed, insisted that a young Lieutenant Colonel Babangida be appointed to the Supreme Military Council, making him its youngest member at the time. Also represented here is the immediate past president, Muhammadu Buhari, another leader whose path intertwined with Babangida. It was former President Babangida who played a key role in the coup that brought President Buhari to power in 1983, and later in another coup that removed him and brought Babangida himself into power. Yet today, President Buhari is represented at this occasion, celebrating the man who overthrew him and detained him for 3.5 years, his one-time old adversary, former President Babangida. And then, of course, there's a gentleman here who was an elected senator in 1992 in the course of Babangida's transition program. When Babangida annulled the 1993 election and General Abacha took over and dissolved the Senate, that senator tried to reconstitute the Senate in resistance to the dissolution. He was detained, charged to court. He escaped into exile. Today, he is also here to celebrate with his former tormentors. But as President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Mr. James, you have ended the conversation even before we started it. Why? Before we start, you don't finish up. With your comment, these men are all failure who are trying to make themselves relevant. That's it. You have opened the conversation and closed it. That's exactly it. That's the best way, the simple way to put it. All of them. You see, I don't even know how to start because over the years, when I dey talk, say, now one class, now in they govern these countries. One generation, one class. However you want view them, it's just one. It doesn't matter They come to power by coup, by assassination, by selection, by election, Agbada uniform. Just look at them, they're all the same. I mean, if there's anything to take away from what did they call him? Osibanjo's speech, it's just the time frame, the timing, and the people involved. Among all the people he mentioned their name, from Babangida to Obasanjo to no, to Gowon to there's one other guy. There's something Hosseini. Then Danjuma to uh, Buhari to Tinubu. All of them take their turns to be in charge of affairs of that country, one after the other, or one point at a time at another. Now only the General Seni and Tiwa Danjuma have yet, when I say yes because they see they are alive, have yet to be president. Right? The first coup that they all laugh about, that the coup way they talk about, they all laugh about. When I keep saying that, the role of the international community in this, this now the 60, it's at a time where everything happened at a time where it was a struggle between capitalism and and communism, right? So if you look at them as they take turn by turn, you look at their allegiance. The only reason why Babangida is not as revered in the international community like Obasanjo is, it is because he no agree follow the agreement. Now, this is what I mean. When Obasanjo, him, T.Y. Danjuma, and the rest carry out the coup, the whole point is to move from the first the British system of governance, which give them license to play allegiance to the Soviet Union, right? So if you look at it at that time, Obasanjo, who took part in the coup process, when they give him the baton, when they give him the mantle of leadership as a military leader, what did they do? He respects what the West wants, what the CIA want at that time, and what set up a democratic setting, the presidential system of governance. Because that's what the coup and the civil war was all about, right? The civil war was allowed to happen and continue just to make sure everybody fall in line, be in one Nigeria, but most importantly, carry out the American system of government. So Obasanjo was the guy who respect himself, served about 1 or 2 years, and interfere with the constitution from 1979 and give it to a democratically elected president. Then the Buhari's come, they take him out. Now the Buhari too, based on that, they are more lenient towards the British and what is the Soviet Union system of government. Then that's where the Babangida had to come in. Now, the crime which Babangida commit against the West, against the CIS and every other person, was refused to do what Obasanjo did. He took back the betting, hand over to set up a democratic process, conduct an election, and let the country move on smoothly. And they really no, he refused. So he stayed much longer than necessary, up to like 9 years. And rumor has it among all the drug laws within them, because that's another side of the story. I don't know about talking for the book. When I'm Nedeko, I've been Neko, whatever, with them, Pablo and the rest of them. He's the only one that succeeded among those who into drug trafficking. He's the only one that succeeded to become the head of state. So he was able to now control the roots of the drugs and everything. So that's why the West did everything they could to get him, and he couldn't. But until the last minute, figure him again, he has to what? Give in. I think I did listen to one of these analysis on TV. Somebody was trying to actually point at that, where how Abacha was, the pressure between him and Abacha, then come the June 12th and all that kind of a thing. So, and I think this because they realized that MCO is not going to go with the capitalism system, rather it's going to go with the Soviet Union. They had to not let him be, despite the fact that he won the election. So they had to stop him one way or the other. Now, this is my own conclusion. I could be wrong. I never read the book, but that's how the whole thing went. So if all of them, then this is where the story of the Tinubu coming when Sibanji said, "Oh, there's a gentleman among us who stood and da," and he went on exile. It has been the cause of that exile that he formed alliance with the CIA. That's why everybody they say, nah, asset, nah, asset, nah, asset. So him coming back to be president, it is not a coincidence. Obasanjo, after after actually I stick to the agreement, give power to the civilian, even though the rest are voted for they still have to bring him and finish what he has started. So so now thanks, Mr. James, for actually, as I said, you finished the argument before it start. But the angle I'm looking at it from is, I'm somebody who don't believe in coincidences, conspiracy theories, and all that. All those things. People say there's always an atom of truth in every gossip or whatever, right? So when I say I don't believe in coincidences, why? Nah, I mean, this is not a new story. Yeah, you agree, say the election was annoyed. I mean, at this point, again, 32 years on, even people will know they follow history, will know they read. If you understand, they come. This revelation that is bringing out is not something that worth even talking about. But for some reason, every media, everybody is talking about it. And from the perspective of what Mr. Jim is saying, they are just trying to make themselves relevant. But to me, the bigger picture here is Tinubu has to continue. So this I mean, the book is not about June 12th for God's sake. The book is about his service. This man stayed in government for 9 years as the number one citizen. If I want to put it that way. He spent another maybe 20 years serving the. I mean, somebody who has been at the center of event for almost 50 years, and all everybody is focusing about is about June 12th that has been a topic of conversation every year for the past 30 years. They use that and make Obasanjo president. That is the sentiment that brings Obasanjo to power. It wasn't the fact that Obasanjo didn't be the president will give from military to civilian. No, Bubakar did that. The fact that there was an injustice, they felt there's an injustice done to Abiola being a Yoruba man, that's what brought Obasanjo to power. So the fact that I want to reinvent that story again, because I don't think it's 100% sure for Tinubu again that he's going to win 2027, right? So, but if he lost, if he's going to lose, who is he going to lose to? Is this somebody within the reach of the class of citizens, this same man, or somebody outside their reach? I think that's the conversation we should pay attention to. Because this all to redress, to react, to repent, to redirect, to whatever the story of June 12th, it's laughable, right? But again, what are they that they go to them? They've used the Muslim, that one don't pass. So what else again? Right? So let's say if it's gonna work. I mean, I won't be surprised because so as far as I'm concerned with the faces and everything I'm seeing, that's like a consensus already. They have come to consensus that the guy has to continue. But again, like, let's see, I could be wrong because what I'm seeing so far, there's nothing. This is just a well planned, orchestrated event, to set a narrative. That's exactly what I'm saying here, right? From selecting Shibanjo to be the reviewer of the book, I mean, they describe his position, the role that they play in this, to the carefully selected speakers, the eulogies, everybody was just as if, oh, okay, now we are now really. I mean, again, what? Ah, as of last week, I thought there was nothing like Afenifere. Now they are coming. That's what actually gave me confidence that there's more to this than what is playing out. They came out. They said that they are not swayed about the confession or the admission. Again, it's still to just stick to that sympathy and consensus vote. right? He has to finish. Now that it's obvious that our son, the Yoruba man, won the election, who point blank, there is evidence out there. The man who take the decision to annul it has confessed to say yes, it was him that won the election. So how you want to deny Tinubu 2027, even if it's obvious that he rigged the election? That's the question I'll put for everybody. If Tinubu rigged the election come 2027, when I mean rig the election, that is obvious to every Tom, Dick, and Harry on the street that is rigged, what are you going to do? But you're going to you're going to annul the results, just like June 12th? I don't know. This is where we are. Because if it is a consensus by the same class of people that he should continue, they are going to rig it. And they are not going to hide it. They will do a point blank. Go to court or do your worst. That's exactly what I'm saying playing out. Because I don't know where all of a sudden June 12th again has become the order of the day, the conversation that we should be having at this point, at this time. But again, I don't blame them. I blame opposition if there's anything like that at all, because there's no opposition. Obi is not an opposition. Obi is part of the ruling class. He's just in a junior partner, right? And now them debate will very fall on. So now is either now or later. Either any other time it doesn't matter. So it's part of the club. I think of course it's an. I mean, there's no opposition. Wetin you dey talk? Wetin you dey talk? Naija man, June 12th is different from today. That one a military era. Okay. So wetin you can't talk? Wetin you mean? What do you mean? What are you talking about? Yeah, June 12th. So we don't know. 1993 and 2025 not the same. Eh? We don't know. We don't know. Say June 12th na minute is different from now. Eh? No be the same people who do the June 12th na then see there now. If you cannot reason beyond what they give you for TV, maybe they talk about. What is the difference between June 12th and now? No be the same people. Matter of fact, from 1960 to today, no be the same people. This guy, I don't know what he is. It's the only military that can annul election. Which world you they live, sef? It's only military that can annul election. The military are not part. They're not part of the society. They come from another place. No be human being, they be. It's in our only military. We are no election. Don't worry. Mugu they see. when they go say we agree, we no agree. When I go know where na the constitution na human being right and be na divine intervention. It's in our only military. We are no election. They deceive you. Among the blinks, the white man and Reverend Father are the same military. Now you know they listen. My guy, annulling election no doesn't come with say it has to be military, it has to be civilian, it has to be religious, it has to be spiritual. No, do you know the meaning of annulling an election? You cancel the election. Now human being they cancel election. You know me say whether you wear khaki or you wear agbada. Now just because they will never reach that stage. If you be say you know everything they talk. They talk of British, they talk of you they allow uniform to deceive you. They no fit allow an election. When they cancel election, I mean at the grammar, now you know understand because they use the word annoy. Once people say we no agree, we no agree. Election cancel be that. So that's you understand that once the people has the power to say this election we no want them. And once the people say that, what do you want to do? If you no agree, you carry go enter street now, right? Just look around the world where they are no election, where na military they have been na only civilian they there. When the Nigeria people rise up say this election we no want them, you go kill everybody now. That's a cancellation matter. That's an annoyment. So when things people they talk, stop looking at it from waiting that they present to you, because that's exactly what you want you to think. They don't want you to able to think from away from that frame of mind. That's the whole point of lying to the people, because they know they want the people know the truth, they will revolt. And once they revolt, you can't stop them. It's the people. Pay attention to Donald Trump these days. The people said I should do this and I'm going to do it. I can pay for this. So it's about always the people. It doesn't matter if you come with Agbada. Once the people with no grade correspond to you again, your Agbada or your uniform don't go now. So there's always a possibility where the people, if to say Obi follow the voice of the streets, they say we no won the election and he stand. Is that not an alignment? So no matter say now only military na IP and not election. JD Vance was speaking in Munich a couple of days ago. He talked about the election that was annulled in what do they call this country where do election for Europe last week, because the person where they want me win, you know, win, they cancel the election. Go do your worst. In fact, even now Donald Trump see they threaten them. The guy, the chief judge of the country, come out they stand their ground. The law must take place. So now human being you are dealing with. Anything will happen. Just because it never happened to us. No mistake with this special. Especially when the Western power, it don't go their way. It don't go their way. Now war will start. Una go do election time. Una go just do election. The election. Until whoever they want win, or to whoever who gets stubborn head pass. So that's the angle. No be say nobody fear another election. No be only military. These old men, they don't see say the it is becoming difficult by the day to keep some secrets. It is becoming difficult by the day to keep some secrets. So that's why it is an era that is coming to an end, right? Baba Adebanjo don't go. Clark don't go. Who is next? Babangida, Obasanjo, go. All of these people, all of them, they are not just dates. Anybody will go, we no go surprise. We just say bye bye. So once the elders the people who among the custodians are going out, the question now becomes that those who are going to take the mantle of keeping that secrecy, that's the whole point. It's a secret that you have to keep, that the majority of people must not know how things work. So this set of leaders who are stepping in has what it takes, has the intellect, has the capacity to go to keep the secret the way it is? Or are they intelligent enough to innovate in a way whereby they will still be in control? So that's the question before that's the whole point of when you get into the presidency, you have to swear I know that you have to keep things the way they are. Keep the things the way they are. Can you do it? Keeping things the way they are require feeding everybody. Feeding everybody means all the invested interest. How do you satisfy all invested interest? So that's why if you just again if you listen to Shimbanjo's speech there, story he talk, just join everything right. everything right. And when you go underground, go behind the scene, you go explore, you go see how it's smooth. That's why they hard to when I listen to all these Okuputa panel and this thing. Wait till they do so. Just like what Mr. J said at the beginning. Okuputa panel and this thing where they go are the same thing. It's just an attempt to say, okay, oh, yes, it's not because of our action. We will not be here what we do today. We have to take this action because of the situation as at that time. We have to do this. That's it. This is all it's about. But the truth is not going to come out. Somebody said, somebody else is going to write a book to either counter everything that this man is talking about, even though I've not read it. Then the conversation will begin. Abi also is also a criminal ITT, international TV. All of them are the same. So it is that's why I say that now we are approaching an end of an era. So you have to reinvent a story. You have to reinvent a narrative because this same whole narrative is getting old. So we see somebody else will come out and write a book that contradicts some or most of the things that the Babangida said, then that will open up another. It's because it will take time before, if you want the truth, if you are waiting for them, the truth to come out from the Nigerian state, just like in America today. And now that they talk about open up with JFK file, which is almost the same time, 1963, right? 60 years old. And everybody where they involved on that finish, what you gonna do? So that's not the same. So I was just surprised. I mean, the thing, I just a smile when Sebaja was just they go with that. Like this is exactly what I've been saying. People go say, "Oh, okay, you are a conspiracy theorist. Oh, you did they blame the West?" No. Now people come gather una, put una say na so una be, una so una must behave. So how you call the thing say nah? So that ideology, that principle that formed that foundation is still very much alive. The Brit- the Americans have not lost the hegemony of the world. They are still in control. Hence, the men still say the men are still government. Just pay attention almost pretty much everywhere in the world. Some of these countries are going to get problem. Now the same leaders we don't live for how many years now, yesterday. That be by one person, one family, one class, one group. Just like that. How about I greeted you. So the idea that the whole book where man writes, the whole everybody, all the media, or everybody just unite on one thing on June 12th. That is not new. That before yesterday, pretty much everybody in the country know that Abiola. Matter of fact, even themselves have given him GFS, whatever they give, they make him them GCFR bullshit. That was during oh God. This old man. I like them, Shao. I like them. It seems we've forgotten that when Buhari come to power the first time, there was a great deal. There was a great deal to 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 try to appease the Yorubas, to let them know yes, the agreement that we had is still going, right? Now, the agreement is always between the elite, right? The Yoruba elite and the Fulani elite or the other part of the country elite. Now, but how do you carry the poor people along? You got to give them something. Hence the recognition of what June 12th as a democracy day. Hence giving Abiola called name that he deserves. So the people were happy. I don't know if we are still remember Buhari first time. Now there's a need for us to go in and support it for second time without any doubt. But unfortunately, the people like them, the Banjo and the rest, still didn't fall in. Now, fast forward to today, they use Now, not forgetting that those who participate, who are very much aware during Abiola's Obasanjo campaign. Now, that is the main, in fact, at the center of the argument. That there's a need for us to elect the Yoruba man again because of the injustice done to them via the killing of Abiola and the rest of it. That was at the core of Obasanjo's campaign. That's his general sentiment. So automatically rule out the Southeast and every other person that want to mount a serious competition, right? Their continuity follow. There, as I said, they have, in order for them to win Buhari second time, they have to appease the people, the Yoruba, the peasant, the Yoruba peasant, the Southside peasant, and said and say, okay, yes, now then win election, we recognize it by giving them democracy day, That was what's hold. Fast forward to today. How do we make sure we continue with the same way? We continue with Tinubu in power? Because that is the question now. What are you going to sell? Muslim soil, right? And it's yielding dividends, right? But it will take more than that to sell this time around. Why not invoke the spirit of June 12th, the Abiola? And the best way to invoke it is to have the man himself, thank God is still alive, because it's a win-win situation. Just like Mr. James said, they are now trying to, what a way to utilize Babangida, right? Don't worry, write a book, come out and agree that this will happen. I will make sure your library is built for you, everything. These are all deal. Because what is the probability that if Babangida died today, we will still talk about him? What is the probability? Especially when things are not, if you think about the past, you only remind you of pain and agony. Okay. So let's dress him up. And hopefully that narrative of dressing him up, we'll be able to expand it. That's exactly what is playing out. It's all political plot. It's not new. It's not a new thing. Now it's everybody that is done everywhere. That's how the game is played, right? Because if you you need to do, just pay attention to all the analysis from every media platform. Ah, yeah, he has. Don't have me. We all knew all along. He did like this. Let's forgive. Like, just nonsense. Nonsense. Nothing new. Nothing that is. We are at a time whereby, if not pressure don't feel for them to actually push the country under the bus and cater to the outside world. We are there again. The pressure is still mounting again. The world is still right the way it was during that their time. It's still here. It's still here. And guess what? It is now between the China and America. What side are you on? The Europe, who have also lost out, who are on the same boat with the African continent. But guess what? They will dress up. That's why I said the king what? So they will dress up. They will come and put that imperial mindset to see if they will see win the people that they colonize. And it's working. Germans are here. Hey, they won't build prison more. Sure, I don't talk am. Make I remind you now. And guess what? The people who are putting more money to build prison, UN, United Nations, Germany is involved, and Britain is involved. And before we go say now Tinubu they be there, no. This is an arrangement that is been ongoing since the Buhari time. They are building more prison. I am bringing this out because as at this morning, because the Bola Tinubu don't sign whatever to relocate Shina 10 have been at 20 prison. Now, two things here. You are relocating prison from those lucrative lands within urban cities, places like Ikoyi, Sule. I mean, nine those prisons there before, right? Who is going to get that land? Shina government. I mean, government and individual anyway, so they'll sell them among themselves. That's one. Two, in an attempt to relocate the prison, they will tell you they are not functioning well, they need to be catered for, more money to be allocated, while at the same time they are expounding it. Don't forget, by the year 2050, I mean, the zone will be third largest country in the world, 400 million people. Job no day. When job no day, crime go high. When crime get high, now prison you go day. When from prison you go they work free. Una just in case una say una no one factory that will be automated or run by AI and robots. Una won't do manual labor. Una will go through prison system. I talk am by the time Bola Tinubu finish 8 years, the difference go clear between the rich and the poor. E go clear. E go clear to the point like day and night. More they play. So all this, within in one talk that is new. But as I said, people will respond. But be rest assured, the idea of June 12th, Abiola, injustice, it's not gonna go. That's when it no go. Something very powerful has to come and replace. I mean something, but I mean already another convention, another something has to come and overshadow. But if not, but this will keep coming up. They have done the Yoruba people wrong. I feel very. I see their headline and laugh. I listen to my uncle from Ishaland, one of the best intellectual that I like. This guy was also secretary to Awo.
If we want to teach the Biafra story in schools, I tell you, one of the reasons they stopped teaching history was that they couldn't tell our story. And now they can't tell the Biafra story. And we cannot tell the story of the coups properly. Now, a country with so many secrets that it cannot divulge cannot write history. It is wrong to talk about ignoring the Biafra story. But the injustices and the oppression that led to Biafra are still very much present and with us. You can't escape Biafra. And in fact, the reason we do need to continuously exhume the ghost of Biafra is that the ethnic principles on the basis of which we had to go to war are all pervasive in the Nigerian society of today. And our leaders do not appear to know what to do about them. They start from the wrong premises. Some want to eliminate ethnic groups. It is not possible to eliminate ethnic groups. That old statement by Amadou Bello in reply to Zik said, let's forget our differences. Amadou Bello said, no, let's understand them. When you do understand them, you will discover that it is possible for those who are supposedly radically opposed to themselves today, it is possible for them to sit at the same table and discuss virtually every problem.
Because by the time they start to talk the truth, they will have to throw themselves under the box. But if I want to go by Kwame Nkrumah, most of them were in bed with the imperialists just to sacrifice their brothers. So by the time they begin to actually speak the truth, then go begin they throw themselves under the bed. Who collect this? Who said this to the white man? Who collect favor for the white man? Who go lie? Who leak secret? Who do this? That's the truth. And all of them at one point or the other play role, either knowingly or unknowingly, actively, whatever. So they will never ever say now when all of them don't die finish, we will begin to hear exactly what happened. But as it is now, they deceive themselves. They know themselves. Make I give you some response. Now they say Igbo officers crushed. 1966 coup. IBB disagree with the term Igbo coup. Let's see, Mercy will write this one. This is Odeze Ekene. Okay, let's see. Former military head of state Ibrahim Badamosi Babangida has disclosed that it was an Igbo officer. It was an Igbo officer, Major John Obienu, who crushed the 66 military coup, disclosed that General Babangida disclosed that on page 39 of his book, A Journey in Service, he started that the ethnic coloration given to the coup as Igbo filtered in as a result of the killing of the then Sultana of Sokoto, Sir Hamadu Bello, and his wife. That's it. Babangida noted that Kaduna Nzomo, who led the coup, was more Hausa as any other Hausa than he was an Igbo. He further stated soldiers who were not of Igbo origin also joined and played active role in the coup. This was not. This is what the capitalist world wanted. It doesn't matter. It, that's another thing. When they talk about this military, where they deny going to Canada, the question nobody is asking: those that were admitted to go to Canada, is anybody keeping tab on them? Una was surprised that they don't show. By the time they show, who will happen for them? Because all these guys, why I say all of them they lie, even you put up on it. At one point or the other, all these boys we carry this, because the boys at that time we carry all this school, they were all serving in Congo, they were all serving in Angola, they were all in one place being trained by the Americans. So when the whole burara about Canada denying Nigerian military visa, but some were admitted, who are those ones that are admitted? How long are they staying? Who is keeping tap on their moves? Are they just going to be adhered to the program they wait for? They go meet. Like, these are how things is done, but for where, of course, they know, them themselves, they know, but they overshadow all of us. So they talk about, oh, military coup, the whatever they call it, the battle come and say, to hell with Canada. All these are just nonsense. Nonsense, maybe all those things. It's just to keep the people where they are, where no matter. Now it reads, as a young officer who saw all of this from a distance here, probably ethnic sentiment did not drive the origin. Come on, man, what do they call me? Go. See, Babangida noted that Kaduna Ezegu, who led the coup, was more Hausa as any other Hausa than he was an Igbo. He further stated soldiers who were not an Igbo origin also joined and played active role in the coup. It read, as a young officer who saw all of this from distance, probably ethnic sentiment did not drive the original objective of the coup plotter. For instance, the head of the plotter, Major Kaduna Weto, were in there as at that time. Okay, still new in the system. Okay, I get it. That's why I say somebody's missing from afar. I got it. For instance, the head of the plotter, Major Kaduna Nzo, was only Igbo in name. Born and raised in Kaduna, immig- his immigrant parents were from Okwenam in today Delta State, which is 1966, was in the old Midwestern region. Zogu spoke fluent Hausa and was an Hausa as any. He and his original team probably thought, even if naively, that they could turn things around for the better in the country. That said, it was heinously callous for Nzogu to have murdered Sir Amadu Bello and his wife, Asatu, because not only were they eminently adored by many, but also because they were said not to have put up a fight. From that moment, the punch was infiltrated by outsiders to its supposed original intention, and it took on an unmistakably ethnic coloration, compounded by the fact that there were not related coup activities in the eastern region. Now, this is if I did here to ask some question, he said something here. He said from that moment, this grammar when you talk, make I know the meaning of this word when he use so. Because from this moment, say the porch was infiltrated by outsiders, and they put that in quotation mark. So what do they mean by outsider? Who is the outsider? Are we talking about the West? I mean, tell us who the outsider. Because that's the most important thing. From then on, outsiders infiltrated the whole plan. But the question is that did the outsider infiltrate them, or the outsider it is time for the outsider to come in? Because outsider cannot start a coup. Outsider will have to initiate it. Look for actors, use the actors, and after then they will now come in. Just like what is going on in Ukraine, right? The Democrats instigate Putin, quote unquote, even though now all those are bullshit. The American plan did that. Now they are saying Donald Trump is coming to end things, coming to fix it. But they have to pay. What do they want to pay for? Their resources. Now the question now becomes now is that what this is all about at the beginning? So that's what I'm saying. If after the coup were carried out, or after the assassination of Sokoto and the Sultan and his wife, despite the fact that they did not put any defense, let's put it the way he put it, right? Then, quote unquote, the outsiders now coming. Who are those outsiders? What do they want? What are they looking for? Why they come? I mean, these are the questions that I want to know. If nobody is saying all these things are just color, they're just blah 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 blah. They do. They think they are smart. Now let me finish it. That's it. So say from there on, insider and frustrated. So who be the outsider? So he support his supposed original intention. What is your is this his original intention or is more than that? Because it is very easy to put all the blame on one man being the leader. We agreed because it's not here to say this is how things actually played out. And it took on an unmistakably ethnic coloration, compounded by the fact that there were no related coup activities in the eastern region. It should, however, be borne in mind that some senior officers of Igbo extraction were also victims of the January coup. For instance, my erstwhile commander at the Reconnaissance Squadron in Kaduna, Lieutenant Colonel Otto Chinyelu Onegbe, was brutally gunned down by his own brother, Major Chris Anofuro, in the presence of his pregnant wife at his 7 Point Road residence in Apapa for merely being a threat to the revolution. As a disciplined and strict officer as a quartermaster general, who, as the quartermaster general of the army, was also in charge and other vital items of the ammunition, weapon, equipment vehicle for the army, the coup plotter feared that he might not cooperate with them. So again. So this is when I talk say it is about it is about ushering in capitalism and making sure communism never takes shape in that part of that. That's the group. That is this is what is so because I know the last if they trace all these things step by step, you will find out that most of these actors, them Kaduna Zego and his gang, them, they are actually taking directive from the CIA intelligence. But anyway, we'll get there. One day, we will see the interaction between them. It's just a matter of time. It was also be reminded that some of the reminded that like Major Adewale Ademoyega, Captain Ganiu Adeleke, Lieutenant Fola Oyewole, and Olafemi took part in the failed coup. Another officer of Igbo extraction, Major John Obiano, crushed the coup. It further stressed that some believe that the original intention of the coup plotter was to release Chief Obafemi Awolowo from prison. Those who argued that the original intention of the coup was anything but ethnic refers to the fact that the initial purpose of the plotter was to release Chief Obafemi Awolowo from prison, it added. And as far as I'm concerned, if there's anything the Nigerian state, everybody should actually scrutinize more rather than the June 12 and Awolowo saga that has already been paid. If it is a price that they think that is still owed to the Yoruba people that have to pay, it has been paid by bringing Obasanjo in. Now you can argue that Obasanjo is not their president, maybe like within the system. Whatever you want to argue here, should be the conversation because till today, the singular story that is threatening our unity from old to young is the question of the southeast. Why is there so military everywhere in the southeast? Why is there so? Why are they still insisting that they want to leave? I mean, there's so many questions that until we actually sit down to want to understand it, we are not moving. We're not going to go anywhere. Because the fact that we are trying to suppress that, even though the true story is in that the book, and just hinge on a debt that's already been paid, as far as I'm concerned, the Abiola debt has already been paid. Democracy is thriving. So their son has been president twice now. So what the heck that we see reminiscing about there about, right? The victory has been declared. That day has been recognized as a democracy day. What else? But of course, Tinubu need to come by 2027. Yeah, I could see many. I don't know. The book not even, they my mind to read because I also say that why all of them go just dey lie. To read person biography, say they are now only Tony Anene I successfully read. Talking about the book, somebody they send me the book, soft copy as we speak. Johnny Osabi. I mean, guy, I don't get time for read all this kind of thing. Many. I'll see what I can do. Let me see if I can give my AI assistant to the read down for me. Let me see if I get an option on this. Because I just cock and bull story. Okay, that's good. So my AI go feel read down for me when I'm ready to listen to her.
A Journey in Service.
See,
A Journey in Service. Ibrahim B. Babangida.
that's the power of AI.
With a forward
Shout out
feature,
to
Yakubu Gowan.
shout out to Jafar. He just sent me the book. Make I read. God, I was like, I know we get, as in the team will move me at all, and because I know see another thing talk about, I know see that story that I feel put together, and I make me not. Babangida, see, all of them are just, there's nothing about them, and I just want to know the role, how, who, as in, yeah, I want to know more than what the woman we know, and I know it's not going to say that, but I just hope it will say enough for people to put one or two together. But now that my AI feel read out for me, I will see. I'll see what I will do. Suspend other other things. Abiola could have been the worst corrupt president of Nigeria. Well, isn't that the painful thing? Could have. We don't know. Then somebody can also say he could have been the best president. The word there is cool, but it's okay. Hey, Let's see. I think I've done enough on this. Nothing more to talk about. Just watch out, though. I hope I'm wrong, but I just mean there's more to this. I'm trying to set the familiarity. There's more to this, but we will see. But it was a beautiful. It's a colored event, according to Mr. James. They are just trying to make themselves relevant. Do they succeed there? Is that? But I think for me again, Mr. James, Mr. James, I hope you remember the well, we had so many conversations in the past, but regarding I hope you understand regarding the thing that Bola Tinubu will do to the Oduduwas, Nigerianness. We see. Anybody see the smoothness of Oshibanjo, Tinubu, and just like everything is just everything is just too well thought out for me. The picking of Oshibanjo to be the what is that they call the position where he be when analyze where read the book. I mean, I be the picking him and ability for him to connect the past, bring the past and seal it up with today, which is the idea of Tinubu's tormentor, and now and this is celebrating with tormentor and all that kind of nonsense. But that's to tell you the country is small. Like just imagine so God. People wey carry that coup wey comot Yakubu Gowon, all of them, well not all of them, majority of them don serve as president. If you listen to Oshibanjo speech, Abiola, Obasanjo, T.Y. Danjuma, what is it they call him? IBB himself. Out of the five, I mean six people we mentioned, about four of them don't take time to become president. One at a time. There's a hidden agenda. Okay. The hidden agenda is to continue for 2027 now. I mean, Mr. James, that's what I think. Maybe I give you a link. I don't know if you want to. For me, that's the hidden agenda. The hidden agenda is how to get it, how to get Tinubu back 2027. Then, then hopefully continue with um what's his name, Atiku. But my question, why be say Danjuma never be president sef? That's say na him shoot the gun sef. Na him be the gun. Na him kill the coup leader. That's Aguirre. Abi, I hope I'm not talking anyhow. Why he never be president? Everybody around him has become president. Obasanjo, Buhari, Babangida, all of them, they are all the same gang. They all become president, turn by turn. Okay, now you are very busy. All right, okay. Yeah, I want luck of the comeback. Nothing. Then this Nigerian news. I don't clock out Nigerian politics. I just dey wait me. Now I think another there's a twist. This Valentine Ozugo joining APC. I never saw it coming. But I don't even know if it matters. But I don't know what's at play. So I will see. Wait, make I look for Afenifere response. So Yes, the IBB confession over June 12th, balloted, insufficient. Afenifere fumes. Are you doing so? Alright. So this is what Afenifere response to Babangida. This was by Paul Dada. Paul Dada. The Pan-Yoruba socio-political group Afenifere has said that the open admission by former military president Ibrahim Babangida that Moshood Abiola won the June 12, 1993 election is belated and insufficient. What else do you want? Babangida, also known as IBB, had an on Thursday during the launch of his autobiography, A Journey in Service, had said, although I am on record to have stated after the election that Abiola may not have won the election. Upon deeper reflection, a closer examination of all the available facts, particularly the detailed election results, there was no doubt that MKO Abiola won the June 12th election. Upon closer examination of the original collected figures from the 110,000 polling booths nationwide, it was clear that he satisfied the two main constitutional requirements for winning the presidential election, mainly majority votes and geographical spread, having obtained 8,128,722 votes against Tafa 5,848,247 votes, and securing the mandatory one-third of the votes cast in 28 states of the federation, including Abuja. But in his reaction, Afenifere, in a statement by its organizational secretary, Kola Omo Lulu, said IBB public admission of Abiola's victory did not absolve him and his associates of the irreversible damage the annulment of the June 12, 1993 election had caused. The statement said, his belated acknowledgement that the election was indisputably free, fair, and credible merely affirmed what Nigerians have known for over 3 decades, that Chief Moshood Kashimowo Abiola, Omolewa Abiola, was the rightful winner of that historical election. However, this long overdue confession cannot exonerate Babangida and his associates from the monumental betrayal inflicted upon the nation. It does not restore the lives lost, or does it atone for the enduring scars of oppression, bloodshed, and the suppression of democracy. The consequences of that reckless annulment remain irreversible. The Yoruba nation and indeed all Nigeria bear the brunt of Babangida's self-serving power grab. His decision plunged the country into chaos and ushered in an era of state-sponsored terror against democracy. Activists, pro-democracy, media, and innocent citizens who dared to demand justice. The statement said the consequences of the annulment of the election by the IBB administration led to the assassination of Kudirat Abiola, Alfred Rwani, and others. It said many, God, who do us like this? Anyway, you see, Tinubu is the only man preparing to win the election. No other person here is preparing. So I can understand why all this is happening now. Instead, many distinguished Yoruba sons, I talk out. This is all Ploy anyway. Many distinguished Yoruba sons and daughters suffer grave injustice, exile, imprisoned, and tragically eliminated under the despotic military regime of Babangida and Abacha, when which were so not too much of my which were determined to silence the will of the people. Afenifere said that Abiola must be posthumously accorded all privilege and recognition befitting a legitimate elected president. Shouldn't do one before now, sure? We reiterate our unequivocal demand that his Abiola name must be inscribed in the annal of Nigerian history, not as a mere political casualty, but as the rightful president-elect who was denied the opportunity to reserve. How now want me to put him again? He no serve for 1 day now. So I don't understand. He was not even sworn in. All this one would also. He wasn't sworn in as a president. He won an election. But that doesn't make him a president. You only make president elect. So they don't swear in. So what's all this standing? But again, I understand. Something has to give. A story has to be told for the next election to be won. Afenifere salute MK Abiola as a towering symbol of courage, a visionary whose unwavering commitment to democracy was matched only by his willingness to make the ultimate sacrifice for the emancipation of his people. Babangida's so-called remorse ring hollow for true atonement is measured not by words but by action. His admission far from being redemptive service, only as a reminder of the grievous wrong that remained unaddressed. The statement reads. See, I think my brain is in the right place. Just by the last statement he made, his admission, far from being redemptive, serve only as a reminder of grievous wrong that remained unsolved. Ladies and gentlemen, I submit my case, I rest my case, I take a bow. I will see you guys when I see you next time. I think my case here is clear. Posterity tomorrow will judge me if another story will triumph. What is at play regarding how next election is going to play out. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, like, share, and subscribe. Ciao, ciao.